I have my activity, and this is how I wrote my listener for the button. Add button, dot set on click listener. Instead of accepting open and close parentheses, I change it to braces so I can put some code in there. In the code, instead of writing a bunch of code, which I could just write the whole function here, right? I'm going to call a function, add numbers. And I'm passing it 2 numbers to add, okay? Because that's what I have in here, first number, second number, okay? And then this function, I took away the return value, okay? So not return anything. Instead, I want to update the view. So what I want to update in the view is I want to change this question mark, which is called answer text, to the answer, to the sum of those 2 numbers. So I'm going to go back to here and say answer text. Is this the one I meant? Yes. Dot. Okay. Now I want to set the text of it to something. So text equals okay, I want to change the label. Let's just see if this works or not, okay? So let me debug this app. Let me open my phone. And let me go back to the other thing and stop what's running. So I'm going to hit debug and show you my phone. My Android device. All I want to know right now is, can I make this button work or not to do something, right? So that's why I've put this code here. And so now I'm going to click the button, tap to add, and it changed the text. Yeah. And it's all vertical too.
Because you said it, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But every time I tap this button, it's going to add this, change it to this text. Okay? Now, is this what I wanted? No. I want to add those 2 numbers, right? And then I want to put the value of those numbers added here.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of issues here. So let me change, before this one, let me add a line here. Let me take the 2 numbers that I was passed and add them. So let's say val sum is equal to first number plus second number. Okay, that's okay. Now let me change this to
Sum.
So I need to give this a string, and I have an int. What do I do? Yes?
You can cast the int as a string.
I can, this guy is using some foreign word, cast. I don't know what that means. But he's saying cast it to a string. Cast means to change the type, basically, to provide a type as a different type. So I'm going to say sum dot to string. Okay, it's built in. So this says take the int and change it to a string. So provide a string from the int. So it's not necessarily a cast. It's actually taking that integer and changing it into a string, providing me a string value. So this is a, now sum is an int. The dot means I'm referring to a property or a function of the int. So this is a built-in function on integers in Kotlin. Okay, I guarantee you this is not in Java. I'm pretty sure it's not in Java. So like not this easy anyway. So this is a function that's built in to Kotlin for any integer to string. Let me see what happens now. There's no more error, right? So answer.text is that. So let me go ahead and stop this and run it again and show you my screen on the phone. Okay, so I have 1 plus 1 equals what? And I hit tap to add. It's 3. I'm done, right?
It's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Why is it giving you 3?
Why is it giving me 3?
That's what I'm asking. It's wrong.
Because I told it to give me 3. What am I doing in the code? Look right
It
here.
really give you 3.
I said add 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, it's 3. Yeah.
So 1 and 2 is 3.
Yeah.
But what I really want to do,
you want to provide variables.
yeah,
for
so
the
if I
three
click in
creators.
here, I can change these numbers to like 32, 324, and 1. Tap to add. It's still 3.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing anything with these numbers. I'm just adding 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I need to grab the values of these two numbers. So I don't need these numbers to be passed. Okay?
Yeah, you need to.
I need to grab them from the UI. So let me get rid of the 1 and 2 here
You need to create a variable for that, and you can use
and just say add numbers. So let me grab the value of the first one, okay, which was called what?
first number.
Click on it. The ID is first number.
Yeah.
Great. So let me say
Number.
val first number is equal to, actually let me say, just to make it clear, okay, num1 or number 1
So you gotta go back in there.
is equal to first number
Okay.
dot, maybe the text in there? Yeah, the text. Okay, now what is the type of number 1?
It's variable, but it has an
Is it an int or a string or a number? What is it? A Boolean?
It's an int.
Is it?
It,
I'm giving it the text inside of number 1.
oh no. So it.
Yeah.
It's
Let
a
me
string.
move on. Okay. Number 2 is equal to. I just want to point this issue out. Second number dot text. Okay. Now let me add them up. Okay. So sum equals
Right there. Yeah, you got it. You already got it.
sum equals number 1 plus number 2. This is going to be cool because I can do this. Okay? Now, let's see what happens. I don't know why that's red, but we'll see. Let me see what happens. I'm going to stop this. It's so cool. Android Studio, you guys can't see this. My touch bar has all the stuff on the top. It's on my touch bar, so I can just debug it from my touch bar. Anyway, let me look at my screen. Oh, I have a compilation error. See the log for more results. Unresolved reference. What's unresolved? There's a type mismatch. So it's not letting me add the two strings up. Okay. In Swift and some other languages, I can add two strings and it'll concatenate them. Okay, which means add the strings together. So what would happen is if I don't have the screen up anymore, but for number 1, if I typed in 1 here and 1 here, I would get 11. Could be 1, the string, plus the other string 1. If I typed in here Mr. Kotlin, it would say here Mr. Kotlin. If I concatenate the strings. And I can concatenate them, but not this way. Anyway, not with that code. But I don't want to concatenate strings. I want to add two numbers. So how do I provide two numbers here? And let me just clarify this. I want sum to be an int. Okay? So this is wrong because I'm passing it two strings. So how do I make these ints? Let me try toInt. Does that exist? No.
Well, we just infer.
Okay, so there's something important here that I mentioned, okay? I could, in here, type Mr. Kotlin, because they're strings. If I'm giving strings and I'm trying to add two numbers, and I'm assuming they're numbers, I'm going to crash my app, right? So that's something to think about. So you guys can Google this, we're out of time. But there's a way to take that text and convert it into a number, okay? I can give you a hint.
And it's not toInt.
It's not toInt. Because what if I put in there Mr. instead of an integer?
I guess
If I do toInt,
would just assume.
yeah, it's not going to be an int, right?
No, I would assume they would have given you that whatever value that they can convert strings to.
So actually, I have the value here. to int. It is to int. Okay, but this will crash. Okay, so I have here number 1 is equal to first text value. So I'm assigning a string, then I'm converting the string to int. Let me try this, okay, real quick. Let me say this is, instead of number 1, this is first text value, because I'm being just clear what it is. This is the second text value, okay? And then let me convert them to numbers, okay? So then let's say val, why am I using the val, by the way? Val is mutable or immutable?
Immutable.
Immutable. Why am I using val? Am I changing it anywhere in the code? No. If I was, then it would give me an error and I would change it to var. But you should, by default, use val. It's more performant and it's a better coding practice. It'll be less error prone in general, okay? So val number 1 is equal to first text value, but change it to an int. To int.